Alright folks, welcome back. I'm going to quickly take the time to actually tweet about this for once because we are at the final, so give me just 1 second. No Zombie Grub, yep, feels bad, man. Zombie Grub is feeling a little bit under the weather, guys, so I told her I will, with a little bit of reluctance, go solo cast the rest of this if necessary, so hoping her to rest well and all the good stuff. But grand finals coming up. Best of 5 ZvZ. Nerchio. Oops, spelled Nerchio's name wrong. You know, I always spell Nerchio's name wrong as like N-E-R-H-C. Like, I don't know why. That always gets mistyped no matter what I do. Alright, there we go. Tweets out. There's the effort put into it, right? Anyways, game number 1. Spawning down here to the south, we've got the Blue Zerg player taking his natural base outside of his base. It's Nerchio. With his opponent in the top side, none other than the Red Zerg player coming from Korea with that early pull. It's Leenock. Now this is where it gets a little bit interesting. If Nerchio had taken this base instead inside the natural, he would have had a safer base against Leenock's slowling attack that's coming out. Leenock has also very much not taken gas with this, so it is only going to be slowlings for the time being as he continues to try and expand behind it. Not super dedicated, but dedicated enough to try and get some very serious damage in. Nerchio will not be able to cancel the hatchery in time, I don't believe, but his Overlord will see this. Part of this is you really want the Lings to waste time attacking the hatchery, and if you can keep this alive, so much the better. But he wants to buy all that time for this spawning pool to finish. He wants to not have to pull and stack drones and try and get Lings and Queen out and all this good stuff. Fortunately, not really taking the bait. Just ducks into the main. Well, the Lings get on top of this. Nerchio's doing a pretty good job stacking so far, not losing a lot of drones, but a couple of them very, very weak. Now his own Ling's starting to spawn, and when that Queen comes out, he'll feel so much better for it. The Spine Crawler was also slapped down. This, if he can clean it up before it gets too late, he'll cancel it, but the safety thing is always a good thing to fall back to. A little bit of extra range. I love that Nerchio's trying to take these avenues of attack for an advantage. Because Leenock had not put any pressure into that natural base, by the way, it's still at full health. No creep start will make it hard to push down and defend it, but still something he should be able to defend. Quick question for chat. Hard Revenge now saying that the charity thing takes away 20% of the bits. Are you sure, man? I heard it was nothing. But I heard that from other streamers who might just be equally uninformed like myself. So, could be a bit awkward. I'm still all for charity though, guys. Like, I wish we could do more charity stuff on the StarCraft related channel, but we're unfortunately not doing that well just yet. One day we'll be in the big money so we can sacrifice a whole tournament towards raising money for a charity. That would be really cool, actually. I think for me, if I had to pick one, it would probably be cancer research, either breast cancer or just generally cancer research. I don't know which, but yeah, that's something to think about for another time. Now, as this Ling is annoying and not dying so easily, Nerchio set up to kill it on the ramp, which was nice. Didn't want Leenock to come back and scout what was going on. Leenock already got a pretty good chunk of information, though, in that early game harass. Okay, it only killed 3 workers, but if we look at the income graph, it really screwed up Nerchio's mining for, I would say, a good solid minute and a half or 2. So it doesn't look like Leenock gets that far ahead, but he does. Also, just while we have a bit of breathing room, I totally forgot I said I would do this. If you guys are the more casual StarCraft player and you don't typically play in the caliber of brackets that would compete in things like the Corsair Cup or our Korean events, EU Vaftriner, that's my best I'm going to get on that one, is hosting a casual StarCraft 2 tournament, and the prize is going to be him giving away some Partoofs. Hell, I might even add some in myself. But if you guys want to play, look for him in chat and ask him for details. I'll probably be putting this out on Twitter a little bit later too, but it's cool. I'm all for supporting. Well, we can't necessarily cast a bunch of casual stuff on the channel. I'm all for supporting that that equally fun gameplay. Couldn't fix off the link. Still for Leenock, a little bit annoying, but ooh, actually that one might have been big because I don't know if he saw the first 3 roaches, depending on the rally. I mean, he saw the roach warden coming down, but it's very important to know the timing which the lings are cut. You know, was the 3rd base taken? Was Nerchio playing really greedy? This is where the Overseer comes into play. As scouts to see the 3rd base taken at the natural. Might be thinking, oh, my opponent's macroing a little bit, but I like that he's playing it safe because back at home his own roaches are going to start up, and Nerchio will not be able to catch him off guard. Now this is the type of ZvZ where it gets a little bit, we're going to say frustrating, I think, for the players. A lot of the times we're watching this nowadays favor the aggressive Zerg, whereas in the past it was always about that defender's advantage. However, that roach attack, it's really hard to get that number up. When you come in with the roaches, it's not like Muto versus Muto where 1 extra roach wins. Lots of little factors go into roaches. The fact that they severely overkill, they'll waste a lot of shots, suddenly makes sometimes having a wall of lings very nice to have in your army. Queen Transfuses can help out a ton too. So it is going to come down to who decides to break. Nerchio's still squeezing in the odd drone here and there. Leenock just got all of his drones out really quick, and he's been pumping roaches ever since. But both players economically matched for the time being. As we can see here, very little difference on that graph. Slightly favoring Nerchio, albeit slightly. Leenock still squeezing out 1 or 2 drones. This, by the way, is one of the things where I think that's the difference between a good and a great Zerg player. The guy who can make a great army and maybe fight with it, win an all-in. Okay, he's got results here and there, but the good Zerg players and the really, really great Zerg players are the ones that can squeeze out the drones. They can assess when it's safe to be a little bit greedy like that. Oh, okay, there's the updated information on the bits. So, yeah, the 20% comes, but that's out of Twitch's side of it, not the streamers. Okay, because that's what I thought it was. Like, I thought the streamers still got 100% of the bits. You guys had me worried for a moment because I've been, like, gleefully promoting charity, which, again, by all means, I'm very happy to do, even if they took 20% out of my side. But the fact that it's a little bit of an extra bonus is certainly cool. So if you guys do any bit cheers, make sure to hashtag charity with it. The Chosen One says I'm Grandmaster in co-op. That's how I feel, dude. Yo, co-op is so fun. So this past week, not this Christmas mutation, but the one prior to it. Well, I guess it's the new mutation this week. It's Monday. Okay, so like, I guess technically 2 mutations ago, I actually had a couple of friends who are legit Grandmasters that could not beat it. One of the ones I had a lot of fun playing with, Kawaiian, even tweeted after we played, like, Griffin is a co-op god, because I guess he had lost a bunch, but I just kind of walked him through how to do it. Co-op's a lot of fun, and I really enjoy it, but it blows me away that there are people who get stuck on it, because for me, it just comes so second nature, but for other players who are way better at StarCraft than I am that can't beat it, I get surprised. Love me some co-op, though, guys. I'm actually really excited to do the new weekly one. I did it yesterday on Korea, so I'm going to try, and when Zomgrove's feeling better, drag her into doing it on North America, and we'll make a video of it. I have really enjoyed playing Stukov, though. I know I should be talking about the game right now. We have ZvZ and all this good stuff, but yo, Stukov has changed my life. Stukov is like my favorite co-op character, and I have never leveled a character on another server. I spent 1 full day grinding out Stukov on Korea, and I've got like Mastery 30 or something on top of that. Really, really love Stukov. Also, nice moves out of Nerchio with the predictive pathing. Tries to catch that Overseer, misses it the first time, gets it the second time. Now, as we continue to move in, though, the Roaches looking for a pretty interesting attack. This is where, again, I said in the past, like, we've been seeing a lot of examples where it favors the aggressive Zerg player. Nerchio's got a very different army composition, though. It's 14 Ravagers to 4. It's a little bit extra that can reach over that Roach wall. It's a little bit less buffered, too, because, of course, as Nerchio's Roaches die out, then it's hard to keep those weak Ravagers alive. But Leenock with a bit of a bluff. He's actually going to lose out some of these roaches, but that frees up supply to go for Mutalisks. And while this happens, Nerchio doesn't have any reliable anti-air. Mutalisks will also... Oh, no! They eat some of the corrosive biles. Mutalisks will also be able to pick off these Ravagers fairly easy, but Nerchio pushes. And by the time 11 Mutas clean up all these roaches and Ravagers, Leenock's going to be losing drones. He's going to be losing some workers. This could hurt pretty bad. Nerchio's also perhaps getting a little overconfident with his push. He just keeps eating a lot of the corrosive biles. Doesn't even try and dodge any of them. Just kind of walks right on in, but Leenock loses the ground fight so very, very badly. However, the mutas are going to try and clean this up. Behind this, Nerchio throws down a Hydralisk then. Queens are being made. He wants to get anti-air of some variety, but the Roaches are winning against the Roaches. And now Nerchio's got to make that dive into the base. Try and clean up some of these drones. Get some extra damage done. But oh, Leenock eats the Corrosive Bile. He just lost like 4 mutas to that Corrosive Bile. That should not have happened. That should never happen. But Nerchio at this point now going to go for the mineralize, realizing, oh, he's cleaned up all the ground army. It will take Leenock time to clean this up, especially being down 4 Mutalisks. Mutas don't have a lot of damage. Losing any of them like that was devastating to the cleanup. Or at least the cleanup efforts, I suppose. But the Ravages were focused down, immediately realizing that that was going to be a problem. Only 3 drones die, a bit of a transfer. Gold base gets killed. Slow Lings on top of this. Nerchio making work out of Leenock. Thank you, Strider1995, for that new sub with that Twitch Prime. Hopefully you'll enjoy your month here on the channel. But looks like Danger was certainly Nerchio's middle name as he starts taking advantage in the middle game. There you go. The mid-game hype. But okay. Bit of a deep breath as things do resolve. And Leenock, not out of the game just yet. But with so many Hydralisks out, I don't think this gets better for him. He can no longer engage the army like he did before. Fart Falcon says they don't know about your mineral and gas co-op banking strat, Rifkin. Look, it's an investment, okay? The more you put into your bank, the more interest will accumulate, right? So if you've got 5,000 mineral... Look, when you play Stukov, it is, in my honest opinion, you need to float minerals because you want to be able to create an instant army. If you're spending your money as Stukov making tanks and Diamondbacks, more power to you, but I think the strongest way to play is with bunkers and marines, which requires a bit of banking. But that's, anyways, besides the point. I could talk about co-op all day, but we're not doing co-op here. The Mutalisk count has been called to a pretty unmanageable or unused. What's the word here? Non-useful number. 3 mutas is nothing. They get picked off. As Nerchio continues his push, Leenock's making moves like, I love the idea of the Banelings to try and deal with the Hydralisk, but those Banelings will never make it through that Roach Wall. That Roach Wall, by the way, out of Nerchio has better upgrades than that of Leenock, whose armor upgrades still not done. Base gets sniped. Danger is afoot as Leenock is going to be defending against this very, very intense push out of Nerchio. Nice micro pullback from the Corrosive Biles. Not going to take damage there. GG's get called, and Nerchio takes game number 1 in this best of 5 finals. Things heated up pretty quick. But as I said, it's game number 1, so a small commercial break while we get into game number 2. Thank you guys for watching the Corsair Cup. I'll see you soon. All right, game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting into... It is, of course, a best of 5, and I said that a little bit backwards. I'm trying to think of how to segue out of it. But regardless, you're watching the Corsair Cup Grand Finals. Of course, a big thank you to Corsair for making all this possible. They sell some absolutely fantastic gear, and you should check out all the links down below. Thank you very much to Dova Kitten 169 for the 100. Kriegasm, what's up? Spawning here to the bottom left side of the map, we got the blue Zerg player, Nerchio. And his opponent in the upper right is going to be none other than the red Zerg, Leenock. Not going for the early pull this team. I don't feel like openings were hugely influential, although it was really impressive watching Nerchio defend against Leenock's attack and doing it so cleanly. However, I think the bigger problem was that late game. Now, if Leenock had chosen to push versus not push, I don't know that that was really the problem. For me, it was the fact that he was aiming to go to Mutalisks afterwards. And as we saw, they didn't quite hit it. Like, the fact that he lost 4 to the Corrosive Biles, that was, let's be honest, a little bit embarrassing. But on top of that, just the damage taken got really out of control. And Leenock had bled out so many roaches just running down the middle of the map. There's a lot to be said about that game, but it all boils down to, I think Leenock made a lot of mistakes, while Nerchio didn't make any. So to speak. Like, this was not like one player clearly outshined the other, or somebody was so much better than the other player, but it was the difference of oops versus no oops, I suppose, is probably the best way I can phrase that. Anyways, while this is going on, I would like to thank you guys. We've got $189 raised through today's stream. That's going to go directly to that Matcherino fundraiser after it's all said and done. So I would love to round that off to 200 if anyone's feeling generous enough. Other than that, type !MEGA in chat and go look at our mega fundraiser. It has nothing to do with this tournament, but it has everything to do with a $30,000 tournament we want to run at the end of the year. Couple of lings is going to be heading across the map. I don't think there's anything too crazy about this. Now maybe these will get Nerchio a little bit off guard, but Nerchio, of course, has his own lings. He's even got a Baneling Nest coming down fairly early. Not sure if that will be super defensive or if that's going to be him getting geared up to go aggressive. Find out shortly, as it comes down to drones getting cut in a few moments' time. However, for the time being, he was reaching out for that third, saw those lings, and felt like pulling back because he doesn't have enough of his own. Now they can take this fight, he'll push this back, and try and take that third base. Other side of the map, Leenock, of course, had kind of gotten a little bit ahead. Nerchio got to see this with his Overlord too, so he knows that he's a little bit behind on the third base game. But this is hardly like PvP. This is hardly like TVT. They don't have to worry about the third base as big of a deal. That'll finish up and Larva will spawn. But Leenock, in the meantime, is going to cut those drones, turn the heat up to 10. Nerchio simultaneously as well. 14 lings coming out next. There's going to be banelings for Nerchio, which will give him a small advantage when it comes to these ling fights. Leenock does not know about the Baneling Nest. He is moving towards roaches, and roaches I think are the better follow-up. But if Leenock gets completely wiped off the map by a couple of banelings, then Nerchio's own lings will win before the roaches even have a chance to contest. This could get really bad. This could get really messy. We're going to see this happen here in the third base. Getting really low. Baneling's coming in. Not going for that cancel just yet. Nerchio might be better off canceling the Rebellion just because it's going to have no health when it finishes. Ling counterattack hits the top of the ramp, though, and Nerchio's going to kill one of these queens. Second queen goes down shortly afterwards. Not a lot of drones to pick up as he rushes back home to defend against Leenock's lings running into his own main. But of course, with the aid of banelings and of course Defender's advantage, I don't think Leenock's going to accomplish all that much. While he moves on to roaches and continues to make more lings after this, Nerchio's not going to be sweating it too hard. He's already going to have enough lings to possibly surround the roaches. The roaches don't do so well when surrounded, even if it's something weak like lings, and I say weak here with big air quotes. I think Nerchio's just looking dandy. Now, of course, if there are probably, let's say like 10 plus roaches, that's where this gets a little bit more difficult to deal with. But that's where we start talking about the topic of the big overkill. We also have these banelings trying to catch, oh, Leenock, he can't escape anymore. He knows this too. Banelings closing in from each angle. He's ready to catch those lings. One baneling takes out almost all the lings. And now Nerchio is just going to push his way into this third. Surround goes down on the base. Roaches coming out. Banelings, of course, not going to be super effective versus roaches, but lings with a full surround certainly will be. However, mobility may be key here. And as he walks away from the third, Leenock also going to disengage. Nerchio's own roach warden comes down next, but I think that Leenock is ahead by a considerable amount of roaches. Nerchio's got the better income. He's got the third base mining. He's going to be better spread out with his drones and mining too. But Leenock can't push out. And the problem is, well, he does have so many roaches, he could technically just move across the map and kill Nerchio. In doing so, he'll leave a giant opening where Nerchio will just dart in with those lings, and he'll run in with those banelings, and then Leenock will die. So this is... It's a harrowing situation. Then also supply blocked by losing one of those overlords over here, by the way. Losing vision on top of this. You guys might hear some noises. I'm going to raise my desk up because I want to stand for this now. But this game took a turn for the worse, and Leenock, who should have been ahead thanks to these roaches, finds himself in a very sticky situation where he's slow and can't play at the same speed and tempo that of Nerchio. Now, Nerchio actually loses quite a bit of his lings on the other side of the map. That was his stalling power. That's what kept Leenock from pushing, knowing that there's the threat of those banelings and the threat of those zerglings, but the fact remains that they're gone, and now he pushes. Nerchio's managed to get a couple of roaches on his own. Let's see if it's going to be enough. In fact, I think with Defender's advantage included, this should be fine. It does suck that he lost the majority of his front line, so you know, he's not going to have those lings and banelings to soak and hit and all this overkill nonsense I keep talking about. But the roaches at the top of the ramp waiting with a concave. More roaches on top of this. Defender's advantage. Queens being added into the mix. Leenock is going to have to split Nerchio, and we'll see if Nerchio takes the bait. Left side not too bad to defend against. He can make a couple banelings here even and just put them in the mineral lines. Probably be fine. Leenock also slowly going to start falling behind, not just in terms of army, but in terms of income. Because while that's been going on, you'll notice Nerchio's mining almost 700 more minerals per minute than Leenock. And a lot of that had to do with the fact that Leenock was not quite mining off this third. He starts moving workers over here now and starts catching up in the income, but he's already been behind by quite a bit. Who was that just subbed? We got Hindenzerg. It's the Flying Hindenzerg, 1266. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub. Big love, much appreciated. As I turned off the units tab by mistake. Excuse me, guys. Nerchio comes in, and he's feeling very confident. I mean, this is without Roach speed. This is coming up a ramp into a choke. This feels bad, man. But while this happens, the Lings said, you look left, and I hit right, and takes out that third base. Full surround. No way to clean this up. Bailey's going to run in, but even then, the Lings have certainly got the base. Nerchio even manages to escape without triggering a single Baneling. So sick. And nice moves. Now, unfortunately for Leenock, this puts him in a position where he kind of has to all in. There's no more chance to recover. You don't just put that third back down and continue on with your day. He's down a significant army supply, and I just don't think a counterattack will get it done. Even if he tries to take the third again, which he is, he's already playing behind by such a large margin. He's behind in workers by such a significant amount. Nerchio's feeling confident enough to go for the Spire. And I think that this Spire, well, it looked a little bit lame for Leenock in Game 1, is looking like the Grim Reaper for Leenock in Game 2. In fact, I'm going to say with some pretty hefty confidence here that Nerchio should win this game. I just do not see a way for Leenock to recover off this damage. I mean, it would take Nerchio making some mistakes, and that's not likely to happen, but it is always possible. That is the downside to StarCraft sometimes, too. I love when players can get in a position where they are so far ahead, but then can also still lose the game pretty massively. You know, walking Roaches into a bad engagement, Ling's running into a Baneling. Okay, Nerchio was paying attention. So he's not going to take that awful, disgusting loss of a hit. But again, so much of this boils down to not what's on the field right now, but what's going to be on the field next. And that Spire finishing up means a lot of potential mutas. They're just still investing pretty heavily into Roaches, though, so it might just simply be a plan B for him. And that's kind of what happened with Leenock last time as well. But while the army supplies are a little bit well matched, again, we have to go back to that income graph. And this is Nerchio in every way pulling ahead further and further and further. Sure, they might both be maxed out and they might both have a ton of Roaches ready to go, but it's going to be Nerchio who can rebuild his army. It's going to be Nerchio who can actually afford to take losses. Lings to the north side, not getting much done. He contemplated running past that, but meanwhile, back at home defending, he's got that Roach speed now. More Roaches coming out. The mutas are going to be able to snipe off the Banelings, and of course just be damage that can't be countered, frankly. But as he pushes into this fight, it's looking so much better for Nerchio. It's not even about the Roaches. These mutas just won't be stopped. The Banelings get completely wasted on 2 Roaches on the backside. Corrosive Bow's looking to land, but GG's get called. Leenock going to tap out, and Nerchio takes a 2-0 lead. Not a victory, but a lead here in the series. Also got to give it up for my man Hearthstone coming in with that resub. He says, with the 11 months, Johnny Rico is coming back. Oh, is he? Dude, I miss Johnny Rico. Johnny Rico was great. So if Johnny Rico's actually coming back, everybody get hype. Ooh. But looks like we're going to hop into Overgrowth next. I'm not sure if I squeeze, if this gets made really quick. I'm not going to squeeze a break. Big thank yous and kudos to Nerchio, by the way. Whether he wins or loses the series today, he's been hosting the lobbies. I kind of made a joke to him, but him and Alive are literally the only players who do this, so I am certainly appreciative that I don't have to be hosting the lobbies for the players. So let's just hop into it. Should we just go to the in-game screen? You don't have to look at my ugly mug. You guys like my haircut, by the way? I got story time about this. So you'll notice my hair is particularly short right now. I think everyone's had this at one point where they've done grooming and taken it too far. I was trimming my mustache last night and thought, oh, my beard's looking a little bit long too, so I'll give that a shave. And then as I shaved it, oops, yep. Oops. As I shaved it, I got a little bit too close to my sideburns, so I had to even those out. And then as I noticed that they weren't evening out, I said, okay, well, maybe I'll just cut my hair to match that. And then that went too short and, yeah, basically led to what is basically almost a buzz cut in the middle of freaking winter. So I'll tell you what, I don't love having short hair right now. It's actually like -3 inside my room. Feels very cold, man. But, I like the cold, so that kind of works for me. We are in game number 3. Thank you guys for joining us here for the Corsair Cup. Spawning in the top right side of the map, we've got the blue Zerg player. It's going to be Onyx Gaming's Nerchio. Currently leading 2-0. Bottom left side, we got the red Zerg. It's Leenock. But Leenock, I don't want to be like, wow, what a bad Zerg player. Can't beat Scarlet in Korea. Can't beat Nerchio here. There is actually a very notable amount of delay. You know, this isn't the North America server. We're not playing middle ground between Korea and Europe. We are playing on the European server. Now, a lot of Koreans know this. They come into this without complaints about server or lag because this is in the rules. We could, I think, in an ideal world, make them play on North America, but we do very much insist that this is a European tournament for Europeans where anyone can play, but the servers are meant to favor the Europes. Same way when we do the Korean server stuff. We don't make people play off server, so it is just kind of the nature of things. However, yeah, Nerchio winning is not super surprising. It kind of reminds me of actually when we had Mana play against Zest a few weeks back, and Mana was pretty much just like, yeah, I'm gonna 2-0 Zest. It's PvP on Europe. Like, I don't know what you expect. And then he did. So latency, I think, plays a pretty substantial factor. The only key difference, I think, in ZvZ is we're not seeing a lot of super crazy Ling Baneling aggression. And I think a big part of that is definitely because Leenock doesn't want to have to try and dance through that lag. He doesn't want to have to do the small pullbacks and little bits of micro. But the Roach fights, luckily enough, don't require that much, but that's where the Corrosive Biles, I think, start coming into play. And we saw Nerchio even eat a bunch of those and still win a game. So it's kind of this point, like, how do you deal with them? How do you stop them? Can you? I don't know. Also, just quick note, because again, our website's currently down. It's probably not going to be back up till the New Year's. We don't have a whole hell of a lot scheduled for casting presently. The only really big thing we have coming up is the Still Making Korea Great Finals, which will be here a little bit on the 30th, so not even a week from now, 4 days from now. Other than that, it's pretty much just, unfortunately, a lot of downtime until the New Year's hits around. The Alima League is back on the 3rd. If you guys didn't see, that was announced on Twitter. We got our own stuff coming up. I have to post the Ting qualifier dates. Corsair Cup will continue into 2017, as mentioned, with the upgraded prize pool and format. There's so much cool stuff going on. I know earlier we were having some pretty real talks with Nathanius and others in chat, but I still like StarCraft a lot. I actually have gone against pretty much every rule that's been set out there for a streamer. They're always like, you gotta diversify, you can't stick to one game, casters will die if they stick to one game, blah blah blah. 4 years now doing pretty much only exclusively StarCraft. We've done some stuff with Overwatch on the side, we've played another game here and there, but I still love StarCraft very much, guys, and all of my plans and all of my fuel and energy have been channeled into StarCraft for 2017. So all the cool stuff that we're like waiting to announce, and you hear us teasing about on stream, it is all StarCraft related. We didn't segment a good chunk of our budget. We haven't been like hiding sub money for like Overwatch. No, a big part of that fundraiser too, $30,000, is the StarCraft tournament. But more on that, I guess, a little bit later. Nerchio does get up a 3rd base over Leenock, but Leenock's not looking for a 3rd. He's got Roach Speed coming out with that very fast layer. He's got that +1 weapons started. He's looking to hit Nerchio with a big, astonishing, and surprising all-in, and Nerchio, he doesn't see this coming. He doesn't have any scouting whatsoever other than the fact that there's no 3rd. Now, Nerchio is, for all other things you could say about this guy, he is actually really smart. And my question I'm asking in my head right now is the lack of a 3rd base enough for a player like Nerchio? Is this how he discerns what's coming? Because there's no spine crawlers coming down. That Roach Warren's kind of late. It's not like he overdroned. But right now, there's not really a great answer to the Roaches that are spawning. Also, for those who don't know the difference of speed versus no speed, you know, Nerchio gets to maybe get a single shot in, but Leenock gets to choose the fights and hit and run. There's just no way to catch speed without speed, unfortunately. They get a Nogi109. He hits us up with a 2-month resub with that Twitch Prime with a heart. So thank you, Nogi, and welcome back. Oh, somebody in the house is doing baking right now, guys. I just got a waft of that, like, fresh breadish smell. Ooh. Also, I don't know what part of the world everyone's from, but if you live in the west coast of Canada, specifically the lower mainland, I feel bad for you because you're probably getting the same snow that I'm getting. And I am fairly certain it snowed like a good 2 inches in the duration of this cast. It is that heavy. Cannot wait to not have to go outside. All right, so some lings have been chipping away at this rock, this debris pile while this has been going on. Leenock has amassed quite a decent roach army, and he's ready to push with it. That speed is huge. Nerchio actually takes out an overlord. That's kind of nice. Supply blocks Leenock, albeit just a little bit, but his own army supply is not looking too shabby. He might not have been so quick to the draw with the roaches, and he doesn't have nearly even half as many roaches as his opponent. But all the extra lings could actually help out here. Those 38 lings are going to bring a lot of damage, but they will soak a lot of hits. Again, going back to that overkill factor. This will hold them in place for the corrosive biles that are looking to land, and those corrosive biles will be the damage. He takes out a lot of the roaches immediately with those corrosive biles. Nerchio bleeding out on his front line, but looks like he's got the hold. And Leenock had dedicated so much to make this happen. Nerchio makes it look easy. GG's get called, and he is going to be your Corsair Cup champion, the final one of 2016. Congratulations, Nerchio. Takes the series and he does it with style. Every single one of those games looked super duper clean, but as I had said, this was perhaps a little bit of an influence due to the server. Either way, Leenock gets $20 for second place. Nerchio's gonna get $60 for first. And what's gonna be cool, again, if you guys missed the announcement, this is the last time I'm gonna talk about it as the stream is over at this point. We're gonna be upgrading the cups thanks to Twitch. The Corsair Cup is going to become powered by Twitch going into 2017, which means we're going to have a $400 monthly finals. Players are going to win points based on victories, so they get invited to those monthly finals. It's still going to be $100 a week, and if we get more money for it, hell, we'll keep upgrading it. But hopefully, we'll get to see some players come out. I know I'm really sad that we don't see more like Euthermals and others in Europe, but it has been an absolute blast watching players like Mana, saying Nerchio, obviously. A lot of just great Europeans. I mean, one cup we had almost every single member of Team Liquid playing. I hope for more good things in 2017. There's a lot of cool stuff I want to tell you guys about, but still is not ready to be announced. But the 2 cups that we're running right now getting powered by Twitch is a pretty big deal. I do want to point out, too, by the way, one last thing. If we go to our fundraiser before I leave, where's the exclamation mark mega command in chat? Whoop. There's a tournament reward on here. Let me just screen region this. Screen capture. Where's this? The bi-weekly tournaments. I don't know which tier reward it is. Yeah, here's the offsetting the rents. Did I not include it on here? Shit. I'll have to go back and edit. Oh, here we go. $16,000 raised. So the reason that this is so costly, guys, is to give some context here. To run the Corsair Cup, let's see here, $1,000 or $100 a week, 400 monthlies times 12 months. That's going to come out to like $9,000+, something like that. So at this point, if all goes according to plan, we've raised enough money to help the players pay for half of their rent in the house with the $13,000. The $3,000 to $6,000 gap, that's only $3,000. That's not a lot of money to put into tournaments, but Twitch has also agreed to power up these ones as well. So if we reach this goal, which again, I know it's really far off, we're probably not going to hit anytime soon, but if we reach this goal, that suddenly allows us to throw a lot of really cool content that's going to be even better once we have that Twitch, the little bit of Twitch power-up move. But thank you to Lumberjack, who just threw in $50 to the fundraiser as I was speaking about it. You magnificent bastard. Thank you so much. And of course, like I said, we got 189 raised through stream today. So that's actually going to bring us up to almost the $2,000 mark. The first goal reward, $3,000 raised. Scarlett's going to host a cooking stream. Scarlett actually loves to cook, guys. So this was something I was really excited to set up as a reward. But I will note that the fundraiser page is not at all finished. We wanted to push this out a month ago, but we kept getting caught up in legal obligations and contracts. So now that that's all sorted, we can finally start looking to do content creation, but that meant we wouldn't be able to put this up for about another month still. So we wanted to get the fundraiser going. We have video content coming from Scarlett. We're going to record some stuff in the actual house. Again, the house has already been covered and paid for, but we're also, we do plan to have actual rewards. So these will be backdated, of course. We have really cool things set up too, where we're going to take a picture of all the players in the house. That'll go on a postcard. They're going to be personalized and sent out to people who donate. Like, there's actual backer rewards coming. For now, there's just the rewards for reaching milestones, but we will have backer rewards and we'll have better stuff coming up soon. That being said, Cup's done today, guys. I gotta go pay out these folks who won and made victories happen. Thank you for watching the stream. I hope you had an absolutely fantastic time. Again, bit of a hiatus. December 30th is when we're back. I might drag Zombie Girl on for some co-op tomorrow or something. I don't know. Again, if she's sick, like, I need her to get better. But I think that's all said and done. So we're gonna end the stream here with a couple of minutes commercials break. I am without a doubt in my mind gonna host Nathanius after, so you guys better go give him some love, as I love the real talk he brought to chat today. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in 2 minutes. Alright folks, we're back. So this is just for me to say my goodbyes. Once again, I'm going to host Nathanius, so head on over to his stream, give him some love. But I really hope you enjoyed the stream today. If you did, make sure you hit that follow button before you leave. Check out our YouTube over at youtube.com/BaseTradeTV. Follow me on Twitter at Riff_Kings. BaseTradeTV's got its own Twitter too. All that good stuff. Once again, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your holidays. May you have a good New Year's too. And I'll see you on the 30th for the Still Making Korea Great Finals. What's likely going to happen for that is I will just be silently observing while Zeph and Zombie Grub cast. So double girls, guys. Girl on girl cast their action. Don't be weird about it. We'll see you guys later. Bye.